Hey guys, it's Funkmaster V here. So in 2022, we moved to a new place, nice house, but it's a little house. We didn't have room for a pool table. So I started to look intently online at what it would be like to purchase an outdoor pool table. Now, there's not a lot of information out there, as you probably are aware. I didn't know what I was getting into, plus I'm not incredibly rich or anything. Most of the outdoor pool tables are around $2,500 to about $4,000, and not knowing what I was getting into, I decided to go with a brand called Airplay. And so I'm going to be reviewing this 7-foot Airplay outdoor pool table that you can get at Wayfair. Now, I purchased the table for around $1,000. It was available at one point for $899, but I drug my feet. Hesitation kills, but you shouldn't really pay much more than that. On the surface, it's a pretty good looking pool table, but it is simple. It's not elaborate, it's not flashy, it's not flamboyant. It gets the job done. The one problem I would say is that with the cover on, it looks just like a regular table. So if it's outside on a carport or wherever you decide to put it, make sure you have a little table next to your front door that the UPS guy puts packages on that instead of potentially damaging your brand new outdoor pool table with a heavy ass package from hims.com. So okay, you can see I'm out here in my carport, and here is the pool table from Wayfair, the Airplay. What the hell does that say? Airzone Play. I got the name of the company wrong in the beginning here, but Airzone Play, the 7-foot pool table. And this is probably the most important part, this cover. If you want to keep your pool table from being dry rotted, these things are meant to be out in the sun. A lot of people have these things out in their pools, and they're just totally exposed in the sun. So this you make sure you cover this up. And this cover is worse than a fitted sheet. It is kind of a pain to put back on, but it's easy to take off. And what is exposed below is a pretty decent looking pool table. I like the green. I'm glad it's not a little weird, funky color. As far as the construction is concerned, I'm going to show you the best part about the pool table. All right, here's the leg, but you can hear that's aluminum, and it's pretty good. I mean, it feels pretty durable. Like, I really can't shake that, move it too easily. It feels like it's going to last a long time, and it feels pretty durable. Unless you have a friend that comes over and is an idiot who's like 450 pounds and is trying to get cute, I think your pool table is going to be okay. There's a washer I didn't put on there. Don't pay attention to that. You can see you can kind of spin these one way or the other to level out the play field and level out the table, because if you put it on a carport like this, and this house is fairly old, it's probably going to be a little uneven out here. You can see right now I'm using part of the box that the pool table came into to kind of level this thing out even better. We all know cardboard, A, looks like crap, and B, is not going to last very long, especially if it gets wet. So I've got some shingles under my house, and I'm going to cut those up with a box cutter and put those under the table legs, and I think that will do the trick on this. You can kind of see my carport is cracked, so it's probably not very level at all. So this is underneath, and you can see there's plenty of cross beams that kind of support this play field. And again, that is aluminum. I don't think it's going to bend. You can see the welds look pretty good, I guess. This isn't a great angle, but here is what your play field is made of. It's not slate. You couldn't get slate at this price point, but it's this wood, and it's pretty thick. This piece here is almost an inch. This feels almost like 1/3 of an inch, and they seem like they're double supported here. This is treated wood, and I don't feel like this is going to warp over time. Pretty confident with that. These drop pockets are kind of cheap, but you can see they're screwed in here. And I think if one of these things dry rotted at one point, which I'm not saying that I think they will, but they might, I think you can replace that with something pretty easily. I have two areas of concern here about the pool table. The rubber, and it's just because I'm ignorant. I have no idea when, we live in Tennessee. So it's going to get, 10 degrees every year, and then it's humid, and then there's wind. We live up on a hill. Then it gets to be, 100. I don't know how these rubber bumpers are going to last, these rails. So far, so good. They don't play quite like a real pool table. And then my other concern is this felt. Now, I like the feel of it. It feels kind of like burlap in a way. But the problem is if this dry rots or rips, who in the hell is going to come out and replace this? And what's the cost? I mean, this table only costs $1,000. I imagine refelting an outdoor pool table in Tennessee is going to be pretty expensive, because they're going to have to order it, and you're going to have a hard time finding somebody who knows what they're doing. Well, all the naysaying bullshit aside, I do think it's not bad for the price, man. It scratches that itch. So let me show you what you get. The way that I've got this shot, it looks like, I don't know, like something like a Masonic symbol, but this is what comes with the table. You get a rack, regular plastic rack. You don't need a 9-ball rack. I've never understood 9-ball racks anyway. The balls are good. Let's see. I think these are Belgian balls, which are the best country to get balls from. Let me see. Yep, they're Belgium. You can tell by the smell. I like how these look too. There's all sorts of funky new ways to present the balls, and I hate the brown ball and the pink ball they have on television now. These things need to be burgundy and dark purple. You also get this cheap brush. I wish we had something a little bit bigger. And it looks like I didn't even notice this until filming. We need to take care of the felt. And then you get these two pool cues, which are really pretty good. They're not wood, and normally I hate pool cues that are aluminum or fiberglass or something, but these are actually pretty good. So these could actually stay out in the sun. I wouldn't want you to do that. Let's see. And they're both 19 ounces. And they're both made in China. Of course they are. So if you're looking for a pool table, I mean, if you can get this thing for $8.99 or $1,000 from Wayfair, it's free shipping. I think it's a good deal. We'll see how it lasts. That's the whole problem. Maybe I'll do a video in a couple years and be like, it all turned to an ash pile and I cry every night over my lost $1,000. But I've already had a lot of fun with this. And, I'm going to use it for parties and stuff like that. Speaking of parties, here's a good idea for you. Since this isn't a professional grade pool table, and if you're the type of guy who goes and plays 8-ball tournaments at some sort of dive bar on the outskirts of town, and you're playing on a 7-foot coin-op table anyway, this is a great alternative. It's a great way for you to practice with regular size cue balls. But this isn't a pool table that I'm going to invite the ghost of Willie Moscone to come up and play me. So it's good for hee-haw, as we used to call it up north. And I would suggest buying one of these. This is a bottle. It can be called a pill bottle or a pee bottle. But for my truck driver friends, a pee bottle is something totally different. And it comes with a bunch of peas in it. See that? These all have numbers written on them. I had to get the one that's the weirdest. They all have numbers. That's backward right now. But anyway, it's a good game to play, is you can get people of different skill sets, and you put all the pills in the Kelly bottle there. This is called Kelly Pool or Pill Pool or Pee Pool. Pee Pool. Everybody takes 2 pills. They look at it, they put it in their pocket, and they don't tell anybody what their numbers are. Somebody breaks, and the game could be played up to 7 people. And people take turns shooting, trying to pocket their own balls. You can shoot any ball in that you want. And whoever's balls are pocketed first wins the game. So it could be, somebody who can win the game not even shooting. It could be, so it's good for kids and unskilled pool players. And there's kind of an element of surprise and fun to it. And you can pretend to be shooting at other balls that aren't yours and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of subterfuge to it as well. It's kind of like poker or Clue wrapped in a billiard game. I'm getting sick going around this table. I think you guys know what this looks like. Pretty good deal. I'd give it 4 out of 5 billiard balls on a rating system I just made up. You guys decide yourself. Good luck. If you have any other stories, please leave it in the comments below. Remember, this video is sponsored by Atari7800forever.com and also the movies The Hike, Camp Smokey, and WJHC AM, made by Big and Funky Productions. And those 3 horror comedies are part of 6 total stories about the Great Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian South. Have a good time with your pool table if you decide to pull the trigger. And remember, no mass safe shots and no gambling.